Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Poot the Bard, and right now I'm going to perform a little bit of a seance. I'm going to channel the madman, Mr. Alec Ransom. Hold on. Yum, 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 stupid assholes. Yum, 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 yum. All right, you son of a bitches, listen up right now. Right now, you're listening to the P3 podcast, and we have these three other dum-dums here right now tonight. I couldn't be here tonight, so I'm through the Poot the Bard right now. I'm in his mind, I'm in his head, and you're just going to have to deal with it until I decide to leave. We're going to be talking AEW. That's right, we're going to be talking about AEW. I don't watch it, but these other idiots do. We're going to be talking about NXT and what happened at NXT. We're going to be talking about the possibility of The Undertaker and Goldberg and their involvement in WrestleMania. So you better sit in, you better strap down, and you better listen and pay attention, because if you don't, I'm going to come down there and I'm going to take $49.99 out of your asses.
You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Oh, all right. Oh, geez. Hey, guys. Anyone else taste pennies and blood?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyway, are we starting? Did we start the episode? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I started the recording. What?
Never do that again. Ransom juice. Never do that again.
What did I do? What happened? Ransom's not here this week.
Don't worry about it. You'll find out in the recording. It's all good.
Okay. I don't like that. Oh, look, a beer.
Suck it, Beef 2020. What happened? What?
Fucking delicious. Hi, guys. Welcome to the P3 podcast, episode number 369. Damn good time. Boom, suck it to me one more time. I am Poot
Sexual
the Bard.
chocolate, baby. There you go.
I am Poot the Bard.
I'm glad we didn't forget that rule.
I am Poot the Bard, baby, and I am joined by Mr. Beef, the legend, the encyclopedic knowledge man himself over here. Beef, how are you?
Did you just sing Get Low? Who are you, man?
What the fuck are you talking about? Listen, I told you right before we went on here, and I divulged all the things going on in my life to you two of my goodest friends, that I'm in the renaissance of Poot. This is a new Poot. The new Poot O'Brien.
The new Poot the Bard. I like it.
God's sakes, I'm doing good, man.
The new Poot the Bard. Good, man. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce your reigning, defending, undisputed, cruiserweight champion, the Steel City Savior himself, Mr. Tiger.
Uppercut.
Bomb Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man, and thank you. That was probably the best intro I've got since the inception of my title reign. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you appreciate it, because Tom, I'm coming for that fucking belt.
I know you are.
Ironically, that may be the last good introduction you get too, because
hold on, we still got AEW picks the rest of this month. And Poots,
we sure do.
Oh yeah,
Poots and Poots. I will admit this. This is where I could stumble, because perfectly honest with you, I'm behind on AEW.
So am I. So that's why I'm catching up on stuff. But you quiet down there, Beefaroonie. You and I are both tied right now, 5-1, and Poots got the 6-0 on the card. And Ransom, sadly, who isn't with us this week again, just isn't in contention at all. I don't know how that works.
I mean, he's being a big boy. Ransom's got a lot of responsibilities. So,
he does.
Dude,
in all seriousness.
No, and to be perfectly honest with you, joking aside and all that stuff, Ransom, we miss you. We hope you're doing well and you're handling all your responsibilities well. And we hope that you and the entire Ransom family are doing well.
Keep fighting those fires in Mordor.
Yes.
Doing the Lord's work.
Absolutely doing the Lord's work. Guys, we actually kind of have a big week this week. We got a lot to talk about, especially NXT TakeOver Portland and the results and all the awesomeness that was. But before we do that, Beef, you want to do us a favor and thank the sponsors?
Why, Poot, I'd love to. Let's start by thanking our a perennial favorite, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tiger Bontom, a.k.a. the Casual Gaming Dad himself, for all of the awesome streams that he puts up, especially now that he has the holy trifecta, the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Man, you got
still don't have a PC there, Cowboy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not part of the PC master race. I'm not going to
master racer.
Yeah, I'm not going to be burning consoles on people's front lawns. Anytime somebody says PC master race, that's exactly my first thought. I'm like, you going to start making like console crosses on my front yard and burning them? Like, come on. I don't know. Anyways,
throwing RAM at you like salt.
Exactly.
No, it would be a big X. That's what it would be.
Anyway, now that your collection is complete, you're gonna be dropping some really awesome stuff. Let me ask you this, Tom.
Yeah.
As a man who is, I feel probably on par with the excitement of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Are you getting that day one, and are you going to be streaming at day one?
Yes and yes. As soon as I go into work tomorrow, I'm requesting my days off in April. I'm going to request off the day after WrestleMania because it's going to go till goddamn 3 o'clock in the morning. We know that.
As always.
That's number one. Number
two, you watch it with us, Dum Dum.
I'm gonna try. I'll probably be a little late to the party. After I drop the kids off, though, I can probably meander my way up there to the whatever area you guys are at. I'm assuming that the Dungeon of Beeftitude there.
Sweet.
Probably Ransom's house because we can't go anywhere because he doesn't leave his house ever except to fight fires. But go on.
Okay, so I'm gonna take. So I'm gonna definitely take that Monday off. I'm gonna take the day off for Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out, and I'm gonna take the day off for Resident Evil 3 Remake coming out, and I'm gonna try to squeeze in the IWC Clearfield event on the 25th. That's Saturday.
Oh,
yeah.
Poopmas Eve.
Yo,
yes,
it's Poopmas Eve, and then on that following day we have NXT UK Takeover.
We do,
yeah, man. Although it's not even in the UK, which is funny. But go on.
No, but I was actually going to ask you, idiots. You know what? If you could swing it, you just come up here and we could enjoy it at Castle Day Bard.
I could try. I might have to bring some young ones up with me.
Oh, dude, it's okay. We like the young ones.
See.
We got lots of toys and sharp things for them to play with.
Nice. That'll be great. That'll be fantastic. We'll talk some details.
You've seen his father's. You've seen Dr. Death's room of dentistry, so they can have fun up there.
Room of dentistry.
So lots of exciting things coming up for Casual Gaming Dad in the future, and that's not to put down what you're doing now, man, because like I said, you're doing lots of good stuff.
Thank you.
Are you you're still working on World War Z? I see every now and again, and
yeah. I kind of taking a break from that. I might still I might still do it like off stream and stuff like that with my cousin and stuff. But I just started into some Resident Evil Code Veronica X.
Nice.
The only difference between it and the X version and just Code Veronica is in the Code Veronica X version, you get a little bit more of the stuff that you would have gotten in Wesker's report. Like you kind of get the cutscenes with Wesker and kind of showing like his perspective on things or whatever. But I just started that. Well, as of this recording, I started it last night. So by the time people hear it, I'll have part 2 out. And also by the time people hear this, I will have done some Mario Kart 8 online on the Switch. So catch the streams and look for the friend code there. Add me on there. We'll do some racing together. I'll whoop some ass. It'll be a good time.
Listen to that. Talking to the people and whipping the ass of the people. That's what we like to hear out of a sponsor.
Yep.
Thanks, Tom.
No problem. I try.
We'd be remiss as well if we didn't mention Mr. Sean Tischler and IWC Clearfield. As Tom mentioned there, Cage Combat in Clearfield returns on Pootmas Eve. For all of you non-friend of Poots, that's April 25th, Saturday night at the Clearfield Combat Arena, aka the what's it called, the Expo 1 up there. So come out, support IWC local, and if you get down in this area if you get down in this area,
Stop it, Beef. No.
They're putting on some pretty great shows in this area as well. They have Ignition coming up here at the that's this weekend actually. Ignition is the 22nd.
Yeah,
no, I thought that was next weekend.
Nope, because next weekend is AEW.
Okay. Oh, and on that note for this weekend, change of the card though. So Hardcore Holly is not going to be able to make it. So taking his spot in this special referee spot is Pittsburgh's own franchise Shane Douglas.
That guy will do anything for a buck.
The fucking franchise, Pittsburgh's fucking all-star, the fucking franchise Shane Douglas.
That guy will do anything for a buck.
You do not
God love him.
The name of the franchise.
No, whoa. Listen,
Whoa.
I met him when he was at the Jaffa Mosque, and super cool guy. Like, yacked with me about the Penguins, was like talking to me about like different Pittsburgh stuff, and then went and cut a promo in the ring, a heel promo saying, "Oh, you people who are from out around this hick area thinking you love Pittsburgh, fuck you." It was the best. Like, it just like tickled me to death. Like, he was so good. But
I genuinely feel bad for Shane Douglas, and this is kind of an aside, but like he had so much talent, so much charisma, and it was just always just wrong place, wrong time, a day late, dollar short. Say what you will, but man, it fucking sucks.
You're right. You are absolutely right. Dean Douglas all the way. Hashtag Dean Douglas. Also,
anyway, so yes, thank you to IWC and Sean with his work on IWC Clearfield. Check out IWC Clearfield Cage Combat returns on April 25th. Check out IWC Ignition this Saturday. And then Night of Superstars. I believe that's is that in March?
Yes.
IWC Night of Superstars.
Yeah, that's in March.
We would be remiss, and again, this is not an official sponsor, but I always like to give some love when I can. Imagine Wrestling is going to be coming down the Pittsburgh way as well, Blairsville anyway, so it's not quite to Pittsburgh, but it's still closer than, Tyrone and Altoona and that, so for sure. So if you can't get out to Imagine Wrestling in Blairsville on March the 7th, check out some of the stuff that they're doing. Like we said, man, a lot of these indie guys, they go back and forth to the same promotions, so, so a lot of the guys you'll see on IWC are the same guys you'll see in Imagine, so get out and support your local product. That's it for the sponsors. Let's hit the ground running, boys.
All right.
Lead the way.
You want to start with NXT TakeOver?
Sure.
Let's start with NXT TakeOver.
Holy shit, what a card.
Yeah, I've currently got it on, and I'm still catching up on it. Like, I'm on the Ciampa Cole match. I mean, I heard the results of the Cole and Ripley matches, which was about what I expected. Yeah, man. So far from what I've watched on the card, man, it fucking bangers so far all around.
Out the gate, they went from 0 to awesome. Like, it was like it never let down. and maybe I'm knee jerking here, but like, really, it was top to bottom engaging, exciting, entertaining, and fun. I will say this though, and I tagged you idiots and Ransom in the post on Facebook where the guy it does get I will admit this. I read this and I went, he's kind of right. It's whenever you get to the point where you like see someone kick out of the 9th top rope fuckinator, after it does get exhausting after a while, and it's one of those things like, to me, they hit right at the precipice of falling off the edge. It was like right at the edge, because if there would have been more false finishes in either the Cole match or the Keith Lee Dominik Dijakovic match, I probably would have been like, all right, guys, this is cartoony.
See, Keith Lee and Dijakovic, I don't think that they had a ton of those.
You want to think about that for a second?
Yeah, I was gonna say
okay.
They had quite a bit.
Let me backtrack that. There weren't a lot of kicking out of finishers, which I think bears mentioning. Signatures are one thing, like the Spirit Bomb, that's a signature move. but like Ground Zero or whatever they're calling it, the Keithley's, the jackhammer, whatever they're fucking calling it now.
Oh, the oh, what's it called?
The DVD to a front slam.
Isn't it Big Bang Catastrophe?
Big Bang Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So like they do a pretty good job of protecting finishers. Those two did a pretty good job protecting finishers because I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think Dijakovic hit Feast Your Eyes. I know he tried, but I don't think he hit it.
No, he did not.
So, and when Lee hit the Big Bang Catastrophe, like that was it. And yes, and then at the top of the card, obviously, you had Cole hitting the Panama Sunrise and Ciampa kicking out. Ciampa hitting Project Ciampa and Cole kicking out. I think Cole hit him with the last shot and Ciampa even kicked out of that. So, like, yeah, at the top of the card, you're going to have that. So, I'm of two minds about it. Yeah, okay, the official Botchamania fan page was right about that. That sometimes it can get a bit much. Sometimes you jump over the shark whenever you do those kind of things. But at the same time, like, it really, really heightens the importance of the match. And, like, even though it tends to happen every single NXT, like, takeover card, I'm still here for it, So that's just me, I guess.
Dude, I get it. And I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no! Sorry, I had to take my headphones off for a second, so you probably just heard you probably heard Beef's echo or whatever. I'm good.
Right on.
Yeah.
No,
I had to plug in my PS4 controller. The battery was low. I got the takeover show on my console right now. So
no. So Beef, I will agree with you to an extent. And it is, there's a point where it's, and like I said, for me, it was high drama. It really was. To me, it was high drama, but had anything been a little more extreme, it would have been kind of like, okay, I can't handle any more of this. Just someone win the goddamn match. You know what I mean? Like, and like if it didn't have the payoffs, like, well, I kind of don't want to spoil anything. Well, Tom, actually, no,
I'll tell you where I'm at right now. Hold on,
well, the Cole Gargano thing.
Okay, hold on, because I'm not at the end of the match. We just got
Ciampa.
Yeah, I just got past the ref bump.
Okay.
Hold on. Ciampa had hit. Oh, Gargano's out at ringside now. Ciampa had hit the fairy tale ending.
Wait for it.
He's grabbing the belt. Gargano's grabbing the belt.
It's like a live stream.
Yeah, it looks like a play-by-play.
I know, right? And he's looking at it, and he's looking, and something fucky's about to happen. There it is. Yep.
There it is. The moment that made everybody cry out in pain.
Dude, no, I was like, there were two things that made me happy. I went, yay, we're getting Gargano Ciampa again. And then I went, I bought that DIY shirt. Damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
man, they fucking suckered us all, man.
Oh, they did.
I was right there too.
Dude,
and
I
I'll tell you what,
did.
if they would have had the buy one get one on that shirt, it would have been mine.
Oh,
dude.
Same here.
No,
Same here.
and that's why I don't feel bad, because it's a badass looking shirt.
It is.
And it was.
And I mean, it's not like DIY is done forever. Let's not kid ourselves.
No.
You know.
I mean, we thought if after the last feud that they had, the last series that they had, it wasn't done, and they brought it back. I mean, come on, But we're getting Gargano Ciampa 4. Like, we're gonna get it. What?
I was gonna say it's so weird to me though to see, like, the last time that they had Gargano kind of do his heel run. I don't know. It was just like,
he's not a heel. He's a baby face. You look at him. He's a baby face.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really interested to see how it plays out for him. I mean, I'm all for it for the match regardless. But it's going to be one of those things. It's kind of like trying to make Finn Balor the heel too. Like, if you watch the Gargano Balor match, the crowd was 50-50 split. And
Yep.
Balor is the heel through and through on the, between him and Gargano. I mean, that's
And I'll
just,
tell you what, like, they're probably, to be honest with you, they probably went this route because they're going to have an easier time getting Johnny over as kind of like the smarmy heel versus trying to turn Ciampa back. Because, man, like, I don't know what it is, but people have rallied behind Tommaso Ciampa. And I think it's honestly the Randy Orton effect, where you're just so damn good at being a heel.
Mhm.
And it's Shayna Baszler's the same way, where you're so good at being a heel that people cannot resist cheering for you because you're a badass.
It's the
Same
Austin
as-
effect. It's the
Yeah,
Austin
exactly.
effect.
Yeah, the Austin effect,
Or the
same
Flair
thing with-
factor.
or the Cole effect too. I mean, he's
Mhm.
The Cole
coalition, the Cole coalition.
The Cole
no, the only-
Cole. Anyway, go on.
The only match I didn't watch, and I'm gonna go back and watch it eventually, was the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair match, which by all accounts I'm sure is going to be a fantastic match. It's just the only one I didn't get to yet.
It was good. No,
Okay.
that one was it was good, but I think the reason that like Beef said it was okay and I go it was good instead of saying it was great and amazing is because both Ripley and the EST we know what they're capable of, and so we went, oh God, they're gonna make magic here. And it was just a match. The
problem
it was a match.
is that it was a vehicle. And I think that does Bianca Belair a major disservice because, they had her win the NXT Women's Battle Royal, and I'm like, okay, all right, you know what, more Bianca Belair, like, yeah, she's good, okay, she's entertaining, but man, like, after that, they strapped a rocket to her back. She came out in the Royal Rumble, she was a house of fire, and in the time since, her promo work on NXT has been dynamite. She's been great. I lost my shit whenever she got in Charlotte Flair's face and she was like, "You don't even go here."
Yep. I
mean,
it.
they have made her seem so important, and then it was over. Now, I feel like one of two things is going to happen. Either Charlotte and Bianca Belair have a match. Spoiler alert, Tom. At the end of the match, Charlotte comes out and announced that she's gonna, pick Rhea Ripley. But
no, that's fine. I did catch that, and I figured Ripley had won, which I figured was going to set up the vehicle for Charlotte versus Rhea at WrestleMania. So that's why that one I skipped. I wanted to get through the tag match, which I did, and I wanted to see what happened with Cole and Ciampa because I figured something big had to happen. I just assuming.
After she takes down Rhea and after she says she accepts the NXT title match at WrestleMania, she then makes a kind of a beeline for Bianca Belair on her way out and takes her out a little bit too. So I feel like they're either setting up a singles match between Charlotte and Bianca, which I'm in, or they're going to make it a triple threat match at WrestleMania, which again, I have no problem with. The only problem I have with WrestleMania triple threats is like I think that's been like a consecutive a constant thing with WrestleMania women's matches. They're always triple threat matches, at least the important ones.
Yeah, kind of like it has the kind of tag team effect. You know what I mean? Like there was a long time there where on bigger pay-per-views, tag team championships were being defended in like four corners matches. Like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And I get it. Everybody wants a WrestleMania payday. That's fine. And these three women, Charlotte included, I think will do a great job if it is a triple threat. But here's the problem. I think it devalues the product and it waters it down because guess what? If it's a triple threat match, it's very clear that Bianca is there to eat the pin or the submission. Now, sometimes those don't always work out. Look at last year's main event at WrestleMania where Ronda wasn't supposed to lose, but she did. Like, these things do happen. But the point remains that, Bianca's so basically you get this big push of Rhea versus Charlotte, and you want to know who's the better one, but at the end of the day, they beat somebody who's, inconsequential. So, I mean, I don't want to see them go that route. I'd rather see them have, like, Charlotte versus Bianca be, like, a warm-up match either on TakeOver for Charlotte or maybe even at Elimination Chamber for Charlotte.
I think if anything, I think that's the latter of the two there. I think that's what you get. I think you'll get Charlotte versus Bianca at whatever show before WrestleMania, and then you'll get Rhea versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. I personally think that's the way that they would go, and I'm okay with that because I don't. The only reason I don't want a triple threat match, like it'll be. As far as the in-ring work, it'd be amazing to watch because all three of them, they're for as much shit as we give Charlotte and Flair, and obviously it depends on who you're working with in the ring because we've seen different people who we consider to be good. Like I consider Becky to be good in the ring and Sasha to be good in the ring or whatever. But sometimes Charlotte with Becky, even though they're like best friends, there was times that they like just didn't have very good chemistry in the ring. But say what you will about Charlotte, but she's pretty good in the ring, technically. And the three of them would definitely put on a very good match, in ring work wise, but I don't want to see Bianca just be there as just the fall person because I think she deserves better. I think she's really coming into her own. I think she's stepping up and I think she's ready to, kind of take that main spotlight. So, and it's hard because you have such a stacked, you have such a stacked roster in the big picture of it all in all of WWE to encompass, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. It's like, man, we have a lot of people. It's just like where are we going to put all these pieces we have because you can't have a chessboard full of kings and queens. You got to have some bishops. You got to have some rooks. You got to have some pawns too. Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins,
Oh man, I feel so bad. I've been watching a lot of their major podcast, like YouTube channel thing where they go like figure hunting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and dude, I feel so bad for those guys. Like I do. Like I wish they would have pulled the trigger on Zack Ryder just a little bit harder.
Well, but I mean, Zack Ryder has had two WrestleMania moments, like out of fucking the blue, where he has raised the title, singles and tag
with. Well, that was whenever Hawkins lost the streak.
Right,
but he lost.
That,
he lost that IC belt the next night.
Yeah, he did, which was kind of shitty,
I mean, but I love Zack Ryder, and I love Zack Ryder ever since he was wearing the one-legged tights. Ever since, he came out to the Cole radio song, not the new one. Ever since he was wearing, like, silver and, like, neon orange and, like, pastel purple. And, like, the whole YouTube show. Excuse me. But we have to be realistic. What is Zack Ryder's cap? He's a one-time United States champion. He's a one-time Intercontinental champion. He's a multiple tag team champion. That's pretty damn good. When you consider guys like Roddy Piper, Ted DiBiase never held a singles title in WWE other than the $1 Million Championship.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, like we say, oh, man, I feel so bad for Zack Ryder. But, I mean, in reality, dude's living his dream. He's had two WrestleMania moments. And honestly, if I'm being real, I think he's had a Hall of Fame career. When you put him up with those accolades versus what people have had that are in the Hall, it's, I think anyway, if nothing else, for a feel-good story.
And the thing about that too is you look at some of the other people. Like, okay, look at The Godfather. He's in the Hall of Fame. How many single titles did he win? He won what? Probably some
European belt.
Okay. I don't even think that. I think he was just Intercontinental, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure he was European at some point. But
he had to have been hardcore champ at some. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit of research. You talk amongst yourselves.
That's fine. In any case, I mean, you look at him for somebody title wise. Didn't have some sort of super spectacular resume, but he's in the Hall of Fame because just the character that he was. I think with Zack Ryder, he's got a little bit of both in that sense. And I sit here and I say, kind of, threw the little snub in there to say, people at the bottom of the roster. But let's be honest, I'm not gonna hang on one second. I'm almost done there. I'm not gonna feel sorry necessarily for Zack Ryder, because if he wanted an opportunity to grow more and do something more creatively, he could very easily not re-sign. Dude's making money. Even if he is jobbing, he's making money.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
So, and he's banging Chelsea Green. So, I mean, it's not all bad.
Well, and that's the other thing. God bless Chelsea Green for putting up with his shit. Seriously, go watch some of the major wrestling podcasts. I love those guys, and I'm like, man, that's great. He has an awesome relationship, and they're doing this whole thing and everything. But like, God love her, because holy shit. So really quick, Godfather, Beef was right. He held the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship or Intercontinental Championship one time, but he did also hold the Tag Championships one time with Bull Buchanan. Yeah.
Part of right to censor.
But then this is noted right below it, and I just got to throw this out there. He really hasn't had a lot of championships and accomplishments too. So Beef, your point stands true. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 61 of the top 500 wrestlers on the 1999 PWI top 500. Then also 353 of the top 500 wrestlers in 2003. Here's the Wrestling Observer newsletter, though. You ready for this? Man, Uncle Dave is kind of a dickhead to the Godfather. Worst gimmick in 1992 as Papa Shango. Worst feud of the year, 1992, with the Ultimate Warrior. And,
that's not wrong.
And most embarrassing wrestler in 1992.
Dude, I'm not. You know what? I'm probably in the minority, but I like the. I mean, like for the gimmicky shit that there was back then. I like the Papa Shango thing. When I saw the Ultimate Warrior bleeding the black blood on one of the interviews, like he was just out there like in the arena talking to whoever he was. I distinctly remember that was like my first introduction to like anything Papa Shango related, and I was like, oh my God! And I was this little kid. I'm like, what the hell is happening to this guy? Like,
Well, and I mean that's not on the Godfather though, because the fact is that this is like the pre Attitude Era. This is like the pre New Generation era.
Oh yeah,
where gimmicks were slowly but surely being worked out.
Right.
So to have this over the top fucking shaman gimmick, which was great, and I loved it for what it was. Like going back in retrospect, I'm like, hell yeah, Papa Shango. But at the time, like if we could take the P3 in a time machine and go back to like 89, 90, 91, 92, we'd shit all over Hogan's return. We'd shit all over them misusing Sid Vicious. We'd shit them all over them, taking the title off of Randy Savage so quickly. Like we would pick a lot of fights because of with a lot of the things that they were doing. So
Tom, ready to do it with me? Beef's not wrong. Beef's not
wrong. Hey,
Beef's,
you know what? Fun little factoid. You want to know who kind of almost semi-revived the Papa Shango gimmick as part of like his first character run?
Who's that?
Xavier Woods.
Ooh, I would have loved it. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Fun.
There's something I saw a video of his on Instagram. I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you guys.
Other fun fact, did you know literally the show that he debuted on the Nation of Domination, he was supposed to debut as the Godfather, or not the Godfather, as Papa Shango again.
Oh, really?
And it was supposed to be more horror based, like it kind of like.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Kind of like think like Jack Nicholson Joker is what he was as Papa Shango. They wanted him to be Heath Ledger Joker.
Ooh.
Okay.
They wanted it to be more, this guy's crazy and he does fucked up things that he claims are supernatural. Like it was supposed to be that, but then they were like, nah, you're with the Nation.
Yep. So, interesting.
Right?
We are way off the topic.
Yeah, we're off base.
Let's reel it. Let's reel it way back. So, kind of finish up on NXT here. So Lee versus Dijakovic was amazing, and I think we all knew that it would be.
Oh yeah.
Cole versus Ciampa was amazing because again, we know the sum is equal to the parts. I'll tell you what absolutely jumped off the page to me was Balor and Gargano. And again, like we saw it coming. We said, okay, this is going to be a great match. And I even, we talked about it last week, how great of a card this was. But Balor versus Gargano was everything I wanted and then some. I love Johnny coming out and the Carnage stuff.
Oh my God, so good.
I feel like that probably set the tone. Probably was a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe he's looking at you. Maybe he's looking at Boss Man. Yeah. So sorry, that's a dated reference that only Haas is gonna understand it if Haas even listens to us. But anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It happens.
But my point here is that so the foreshadowing a little bit, plus you had to love the fact that like the tights and the boots especially were like streaked with like red and black. It was very demon-esque. I felt like there was a very stark like contrast between the two. I really dug, and the match itself was amazing as well. So
that was the nastiest coup de grace I think he's ever delivered. It was so solid. And the other thing was when Balor pinned Gargano, that moment you're like, holy fuck, Balor is awesome. Like it's just my God.
Dude, how about I love the one spot in particular I loved was whenever Gargano went to dive outside the ring, Balor caught him and looked like he was gonna 1916 DDT him, and then Johnny pushed him off into the steps. That little sequence there, I was like, oh, it's like so good. I loved it.
Yeah. And I mean, to me, I think you have to pull the trigger on Finn versus Cole at Takeover Tampa.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think that he's going to be the one to beat Adam Cole.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I think that Cole's going to be close to his reign to Finn's first. I think it was Finn's first reign.
Well, here's the thing.
He's only had it once. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, Finn's had it twice. No. Oh no, that's right.
Because I was thinking he was going to beat Cole and become the first ever 3-time, but no. Joe and Shinsuke and
I think that's it.
I think it might just be Joe and Shinsuke are the only 2-time NXT champions. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, okay. As you're saying it, yeah, you're right. Because they've talked about it before. But somebody was saying to me that as of right now, there is no Takeover Tampa scheduled. The next Takeover,
yes, there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then,
as far as I know, anyway.
Okay. Either way, I mean, even if there's not specifically a Takeover one, I'd almost guarantee you if that is the case, you're going to get an NXT match on the WrestleMania card itself. I mean, it just for.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, it's scheduled. They even have the logo. I forgot to show the logos on Takeover TV, but yeah, April the 4th, 2020.
Okay, awesome. Even better. So yeah, Balor's definitely got to be. Regardless, whoever they put up against Cole is taking that title. Mark my words, because that's got to be it. That's the fall of the era. It
only makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It only makes sense. I can't see the only other way if they want to swerve us is to break up the era is to have the other three of them turn on Cole, where they could remain the bad guys. Cole could become the sympathetic babyface, where they could just be like, we're supposed to be a team, but it's always been you. Everybody chants your name. Everybody, it's all about you. It's always been about you, not the group or whatever. And you can't deny that. And then the three of them just gang up on him. That's the only other way that you could. That's the only one of two ways that you could break up the era is just or they just split them somehow, moving them to the other rosters.
It's really funny that you mentioned that because I saw on Facebook there was a Twitter exchange between Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. Balor basically was lauding Kyle O'Reilly's abilities. Kyle O'Reilly said, like, like, talent, or like gave him a compliment back, like saying, thanks, man. So we could see. Oh, right.
No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's take this back, because if you remember, and you may not, but Adam Cole was the leader of Bullet Club for a cup of coffee. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a very much.
He was. Yeah, Ring of Honor.
NJPW. Yeah. So, and when Omega took the reins, the Bucks were the ones to take Cole out.
Yep.
AJ took over after Finn, right? In the New Japan, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe you're right on that one.
That would be very fucking fitting to have Balor kind of step into the Adam Cole role in the Undisputed Era, and I'm here for it. That's Dude. and then you fucking build up Cole the whole next year. Maybe even you fucking throw a Rumble win his way so that he can beat the Demon. Maybe he's the guy that beats the Demon on WrestleMania weekend. Just spitballing here, but I mean, that gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
Dude, it makes a shit ton of sense. Like it would be so
much
great.
Money.
It would be so great to have Balor build a new faction off of the Undisputed Era and leave Cole in the dust, and then have Cole. It would skyrocket. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to say it right now. Adam Cole, give it a year or two, is going to be like this generation's Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
He is going to be beloved and pushed to the moon, and he will be given, I really believe he will be given a lot of leeway that a lot of other superstars are not, because you look at him and you go, I want to be friends with that guy.
Yeah.
You just do. It doesn't matter who it is. You show them a picture of Adam Cole and you go, that guy's cool.
Here's my fear, though. Like, we know what NXT was. It used to be the feeder, developmental. People would be pulled at Vince's whim as, late as last year, where, shit was tanking before WrestleMania, and Vince said to Triple H, give me your 4 best guys out of NXT. Hence Gargano, Ciampa, Black, and Ricochet coming up before Ciampa got hurt. So, but yes, now it's on USA. Now it's its own quote-unquote third brand. However, to me, the fact that Shayna Baszler has been pulled from NXT to Raw tells me, because, there are very few people that I think Triple H would fight tooth and nail for to keep on NXT. And I think that Shayna Baszler is one of those talents. And if he lost her to Raw, that tells me that as much as they're like, this is the third brand, we're going to try and compete with AEW, da-da-da-da-da. Like, it's all just fucking, it's all just fucking words, because they're still pulling people that are successful in NXT. We've already heard how much Vince loves Keith Lee, so it's only a matter of time, I feel.
Well, also take into consideration the fact that since you have Rhea Ripley and now look at Bianca Belair coming into her own, do you really need a Shayna Baszler there as well? Like, the top of the card is pretty full there, so like, what are you going to do? Are you going to have Shayna, keep losing to Ripley? Like, no, you don't want to do that, because you don't want to devalue her stock. So it makes sense to have her go up to Raw, because let's face it, the Raw and SmackDown women's rosters are, kind of lacking. And like, who else is there for Becky to face? She's already said it, in kayfabe and in reality, when you look at it, Becky's faced everybody. She's faced Charlotte. So there's really no sense to, keep going back to the well on that one. I mean, yeah, would it provide for good matches? Probably, but what are you more excited for if you hear potential of 2 matches, Becky versus Charlotte or Becky versus Shayna?
What about Becky versus Ruby Riott? Ruby Riott, I think, is someone who's been gone a while, and I think that would have been a fresh matchup.
That would have been nice too, but I'm just trying to think of the psychology behind it, or like the why. Like, I don't know, like Ruby Riott versus versus Liv Morgan. That's gonna it's going to help build up Liv a little bit, I hope. They have history, obviously, or whatever. Just whether the history, what's that? Yeah. It'll make for some drama. What I would have liked to seen more from last week's Raw, whenever Ruby did come back, was I would have loved to have seen not only just her attacking Liv Morgan, but I would love to have seen her give a little bit to fucking Lana as well too, just to prove that punk-esque attitude, like I don't give a shit about anybody sort of thing.
I think they dropped the ball on Liv Morgan to begin with, not putting her with Bray Wyatt, but
yeah,
there's that too.
But anyway, no, the point, like, that's the thing. There's so much, like, just from what we've been talking about for the past 20 minutes, like, dude, this is such a good time for this, like, section of the WWE universe. It really is.
I agree.
Like, I mean, like absolutely. NXT, like, to me, I tell everyone, I say, if they were a pro wrestling fan and they've been a lapsed pro wrestling fan, or if they go like, wrestling, I mean, I watched a little bit, but I never really got into it. I go watch NXT.
Yep.
I said, just use your free month, watch NXT, and tell me you're not fucking sold.
NXT and AEW. If someone says, "Hey, I'm interested in getting back into wrestling," because you have to gauge them. Are they interested in like the big time theatrics? Are they interested in the actual wrestling product? If they're looking for like a standout wrestling program where they're going to see 5-star matches, NXT is the way to go. If they're looking for a good program that's also going to have great matches, but probably a little bit more of like the panache, you're going to go to AEW. But I mean, either way, you can't lose.
Speaking of AEW,
good segue.
Thank you. Beef, you wanna head this one? You're the AEWE, the AEW expert here.
Yeah, if I could fucking speak. Not against you, but my fucking coughing. So yeah, big show tomorrow. Big show that would have happened by the time you hear this.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Up.
New rule.
Nope.
Sexual chocolate, baby.
Change not approved. So tomorrow night they have the first ever AEW cage match with Cody versus Wardlow, which is sure to be awesome. I don't know if he has to beat Wardlow to go on. I struggle with having Wardlow win or lose his first match. We'll see, but either way, it's going to be fucking impressive. And then they have the tag team battle royal, which is going to set up the contenders for the Revolution tag team title match. So. And I'm all about like number one contenders matches. I'm all about tag team battle royals and whatnot. That's fine, but aren't they kind of like devaluing their own rankings? Like when they had, I think Hikaru Shida was ranked as the number one contender.
Yeah,
and then like they had like a fatal 4-way match, which was won by somebody else. I think it was Chris Statlander, actually. And she basically jumped her. Like, so what was the point? And I get it. Like, by winning the match, she effectively jumped her. But, I mean, what's the point? And the same thing goes with the with the Tag Team Battle Royal. I don't know what position the Bucks are in, but I'm fairly certain that the Young Bucks are going to win tomorrow night so that they can set up the match with Omega and Hangman because, AEW is very predictable, but that's not a problem yet.
Well, I really quick, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only thing that I can say about AEW is that, and to be fair, I haven't really kept up a crazy amount. I have, I've read a lot about it, and I've listened to other podcasts and stuff like that. But the thing is, from all accounts and from what I've seen and everything, there are a lot of very good bright spots. For God's sake, MJF Cody, but it seems like they are. It seems like they're having a hard time really finding their footing and delivering a solidified, true vision of what they were promising about, like with, the standings and, we're going to have a relationship with this company and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
I don't think they've ever promised a relationship with any companies. And at the end of the day, though, and yes, I am going to defend AEW because I'm the resident AEW fanboy.
They suck.
That's right, all fucking day.
He's the double AEW. He's the advocate for AEW.
Just remember, open your throat, Beef. Go on.
Just ask Ransom. He'll show you how.
Hey, whoa. Don't you badmouth my advocate while he's not here. I'll come over there and I'll slap the taste out of your mouth. Woo!
AEW from the beginning has said, hey, man, we're going to be an eclectic mix. You're going to get a mixed bag with us because we're going to give a little bit of everything to everybody. You love tag team wrestling? You're in the right place. You love 5-star matches? You come to the right place. You love, over-the-top kind of extreme matches? You're in the right place. So, Joshi wrestling, they're all over the place. Time will tell whether that's going to be a solid plan. It's working right now. They've beaten NXT consecutively in the ratings every week. Excuse me, except for the week that was before Survivor Series, where they had AJ Styles on NXT. So, they're not doing a bad job. Some weeks are better than others, but that's true of any product, man. There are weeks where I've fallen asleep during NXT. So, but yes, I will though, and I mean that's because I kind of mentioned that myself. The whole rankings thing at times seems a little arbitrary. If they're just going to give shots to other people, what's the point of having a ranking system?
And correct me if I'm wrong, their rankings start over at the beginning of the calendar year, so I don't know, that seems weird. But
not the rankings. The rankings are ever changing, but the records.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. The record. Yeah, the records at the beginning of the calendar year erase or whatever and reset.
No, so that's not the case. So they track them separately.
Are you sure?
They have yes. Because
I thought I remember hearing JR explicitly mention that more than a couple times.
Well, to be fair, you heard JR say it, so.
And to be fair, I do watch every week,
okay.
Without losing it. When you watch it on the entrances, they come out, and yes, they kind of push the 2019 or my goodness, the 2020 records, but they have their 2020 record, and then right beside it, their overall record.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
But regardless, I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize about my voice. And to the listeners,
right, buddy.
all 7 of you, we appreciate it.
Don't apologize to these cocksucking bastards. They haven't said a $49.99 yet.
Whoa. Ransom juice.
What happened?
Ransom juice.
So, my point is that they are gearing up for a big show next Saturday, which I'm excited for. I think it's going to be a quality show because I've experienced nothing less from AEW pay-per-views. So
that is true. That is true.
And I mean, at the end of the day, you can have a weekly syndicate be great every week or be bollocks every week. But if you're not paying off whenever the payoff happens, that's what's important.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think at the end of the day, we're likely gearing up. For sure, we're going to get Jericho versus Moxley. That's a done deal. We're going to get Cody versus MJF. That's going to happen.
Yep.
Dustin versus Jake Hager. Jake Hager,
okay.
Hager is on the card.
Yeah.
Which is going to be I think a solid match, and then I think you're gonna have Omega and Omega and Hangman versus the Bucks as well.
Hangman.
We'll see.
Never go full Bret Hart.
We'll see what they want to do with Britt Baker, because my thought was that Riho would beat Nyla Rose last week, retain the title, only to have Britt Baker take it from her. I'm not sad that Nyla Rose won. I got no problem with it, but it puts them in a position now because there aren't a lot of like face women, and especially there aren't a lot of face women that could believably beat Nyla Rose. So I think they're in a position right now.
Well, two things. One, in regards, I'll get to the women's thing in a second, but the one thing I would have liked to seen, I don't know who's all in the tag team battle royal or whatever. I'm gonna guess the Dark Order's in there somewhere, and I feel
Aren't
like
Butcher and Blade in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
Okay.
Hybrid Theory. Pretty much, if they're a tag team and they've appeared on, I think even the Strong Hearts are showing up. So yeah, they're everybody who's been in AEW is going to be in the battle royal. Apparently, that's what I've heard anyway. So,
but the only thing is, depending on who they're going to have go up against, Hangman and Omega, I would have liked to seen them do this battle royal a little bit sooner, so that way you have time to take and build the story. The same thing that happened with Riho and Emi Sakura or whatever. Is that the Freddie Mercury one?
Yep.
Yeah. Whenever they had that, they had a good storyline there with like the student versus teacher thing, but we got it in like a 5-minute vignette before the match and not like weeks building up to it. That's the only thing that that's the biggest problem I had with it. But I will say that in regards to having a face female that could be believably beat Nyla Rose, there's only one that comes to mind right now, and that's Chris Statlander.
And she's been gone for the last 3 weeks. She hasn't been on. Oh my god!
Was she
oh
really?
my god! Oh my god! I almost called it Impact. I almost called it Impact.
Oh wow!
You take 10 lashings right now.
I know, right? She has not been on AEW Dynamite in about 3 weeks.
That's sad because I like her. She's really cool.
There's a lot of people who are
AEW
unhappy with that gimmick that she's
really
running. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the alien thing.
I don't care about the alien thing so much. I think she's just she's got a good look. I think she's good in the ring. Whatever, like, gimmick aside, I don't care. I don't mind the gimmick. I like it. It's different, goofy. It's a little different. Fuck it.
The way AEW is doing business is very unique in that they are borrowing a lot of people, i.e. Jeff Cobb, which, by the way, Jeff Cobb versus Moxley tomorrow ought to be a banger too.
Yeah.
So like they're borrowing a lot of people. Statlander is one of those people that they are letting that they're letting kind of work dates as well. So while they have a lot of contracted talents, they also have a lot of talents who are also working other promotions. So I get it. And but Tom, I want to revisit a point real quick you mentioned about the tag team battle royal, wishing it had happened a while ago, and that way there could be a build up. Yes, but in reality, and if the Young Bucks do not win the battle royal, then everything that you said is true, and it's rushed, and it's dumb, and there's no point to it. But I'm fairly certain, like this, I'll call it Beef's lock of the week, is that the Young Bucks win tomorrow night. Because
Beef's meat locker of the week.
Ever since Fyter Fest, they have been doing this whole Hangman Page thing with the Elite. And then they put him up with Kenny Omega with the tag team championships, and then like they're putting static between them because Kenny's a great friend with the Bucks, like at the Jericho Cruise and this, that, and the other thing. Like this story between Omega and Hangman and the Bucks has been brewing for like 2 to 3 months now, and like I said, literally since Fyter Fest last June. So I mean, like, to say that it's a little bit of a rush story, is not necessarily true as long as the Bucks win. If the best friends win, then it's like, what the fuck is that about? You know, that's something that Vince McMahon would do right there, where you have a solid story in place. This makes sense. So, of course, you got to swerve everybody out of it just to keep the Smarks on their toes.
Well, I mean, you know, I hope you're right in the fact that the Bucks win. I hope you're right about that. But then another part of me doesn't want to see them hot potato these tag team titles because I don't know. It feels like the Bucks seem like an obvious choice to carry those titles. But then, like, I don't know. Like, how do you, like, if the Bucks win, do you have them go over at Revolution, or do you have? Yes. See, that's I don't know. I just don't like the hot. I just don't like the hot potato in the titles, and I know that SCU held it for a good couple of months, but in the big picture of it, you know, within the first 6 months of the company's inception, you're gonna have two other tag team title changes. I don't know. That's just
normally I don't normally I'm right there with you. And Poot, I'm sorry, I'm dancing all over your toes tonight.
No, you're fine, dude. Go ahead. This is probably the weakest topic for me.
To me, like, yes, I agree, Tom. I'm never for hot shotting titles and hot potato them all over the place. But if there is a story incumbent, I think I give it a pass, and I'll do that in WWE too. If you're doing it for a story reason, for example, the Monday Night Messiah and Murphy, fucking Buddy Murphy, by the way, you know, R.I.P. Buddy.
Wait,
anyway,
hold on. Quick aside. Did you see? I think I sent it to you guys. Did you see the one where somebody else did the meme like, oh, yet another name change, and instead of Bobby Fish, it was just Fish, and it was Bobby with a fish head.
Yes.
And hold on, I forgot about the greatest part of NXT Takeover Portland was the Broserweights entrance with how much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. With the sing along thing. Okay, I had to put that in there, but go on.
I'm sorry, I hated that.
I loved it. I loved it.
It's a schlock, but I mean Matt Riddle's kind of a schlocky guy, so I give it to him. But I mean, as far as hot shotting titles and all that, like, you know, like with Rollins and Murphy winning the titles over the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I'm not a fan, but I get it because they're probably setting up for Owens and Joe to beat those two at WrestleMania. That's fine by me. Like, so I get it. Sometimes, because we got to remember that the titles are in fact vehicles too. So, am I happy about them hot shotting titles? Not really, but at the end of the day, I think we see this sets us on the road for Hangman versus Page at either Double or Nothing or All Out. So
Hangman versus Page, huh?
Damn it! I JR'd it, son of a bitch.
Hangman. No, you didn't hang
Page
anybody.
Versus Omega. Excuse me.
There you go.
But yeah, no. The fact remains, I hear you, and I'm there for that. But like I said, let it play out. Let it play out.
I'll give you that. I'll agree with you if it makes sense storyline wise. Like much in the same way, whenever who was it? Oh God. Okay, now I got it. Dolph Ziggler and Miz had the whole like, you know, Ziggler was like almost gonna kind of retire sort of thing. And they kind of hot potatoed the Intercontinental title back and forth a couple times, and then had like, you know, the stipulation of it being like, you know, Ziggler like retiring if he lost or whatever. I get that. So I agree with you. If it makes sense for the storyline, that's fine. I'll give you that. So let's see who wins the battle royal first, and then I'll kind of go from there. I won't jerk my knee so hard that I need a brace for it. So we'll be all right.
That's my job.
That's your job. Yeah.
Let's change gears here a little bit. And so we have everybody's favorite event to talk about, Saudi Blood Money 3, No Way Home, next week. And
That's the best. That's the freaking best. The best like tagline for a show that I've heard. No Way Home. I love it.
You're welcome. Steal it. You can take it. What are you noping?
The whole time that anyone talks about any of the Blood Money shows, I'm just gonna say nope every 4 seconds.
That's fine by me.
Where's my stopwatch?
To be honest, there has not been a lot to watch from the other ones. They've been very boring.
you might have to space it out to every 10 seconds or so.
But
nope.
But the main event of which, maybe the main event is going to be The Fiend versus Goldberg.
Sorry,
Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet.
Excuse me while I go simultaneously and vomit and diarrhea all at the same time.
No. So this is an interesting discussion because the Marks love the old man.
Nope.
Love the old man, and I bet you we have some Marks that listen to us. So here's the thing. I forget. We're not talking about Blood Money anymore. We're talking about this is the big picture thing. So somebody said.
I agree with that. Just for the old Berg sentiment.
Anyway, go on.
So somebody in a comment somewhere, I'm one because now that my phone listens to me and I know that we do a podcast about wrestling, I get wrestling shit on my feed like every other post. So thanks, Big Brother. So in one of the multitude of shit that I read in a day, somebody commented saying that if the Fiend beats Goldberg clean, it's going to ruin Goldberg's legacy. And it made me stop and ponder. What is Goldberg's legacy?
To me,
it's not that.
To me, the closest thing he has to a legacy is his quote unquote streak in WCW. That's it.
So people get very, very emotional about their favorite wrestlers, and Bill Goldberg is one of those wrestlers. For whatever fucking reason, people drank the coffee. What? People drank the fucking Kool-Aid when it came to Goldberg.
What's coffee made out of beef?
You ain't wrong. People drank the Kool-Aid when it came to Goldberg. WCW was very guilty of piping in the Goldberg chants, but it spread like wildfire. And they took this guy who was a football player.
Stone Cold lookalike.
A football player, right. And they said, hey, we want you to dress like Steve Austin and act like Steve Austin.
Except more football player-y.
Yeah, exactly. And they made something out of him.
Instead of being a beer drinking, hardcore like son of a bitch badass, we're just gonna have you be a big old briefy boy.
Yeah. Breathe in the smoke and spit it back out.
Bang your head off the doors while you're at it. Why not?
Bleed.
Yeah.
But they did something, and to this day, a lot of people bought in to the whole Goldberg hype. And obviously, we are not it. But there are a lot of marks out there running around that believe that Goldberg was the absolute best thing that WCW could have and did during that time frame, during that 2.5 year span. So the thought of Wyatt tarnishing his legacy
is absurd.
Really is silly, because the man has no real legacy. But let's put on our Mark glasses here, boys.
Nope.
No,
nope. Go
here's
on.
the thing. Wearing your Mark glasses is kind of like being in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You got to make sure you have a friend there who you trust to bring you out of it. Because
Or it's like
otherwise you're...
I was gonna say, or it's like Inception. You got to make sure you get kicked awake.
Right. Otherwise you're stuck in Markland forever, and nobody wants that. So, you know, this guy owned the WCW roster, and for the most part was probably one of the bigger hands that was responsible for the demise, just because he rolled through everybody, and then, you know, it became a fucking MacGuffin. Who could beat Goldberg? You know, so, and like, I think 4 people total in WCW beat Goldberg. So,
The stun gun being one of them.
right. So, the fact that he basically owned an entire company, right? The fact that he owned an entire company, basically, and ran through everybody roughshod, including the immortal Hulk Hogan, making it look super easy. You know, if you are one to believe that he really has a legacy, how big does that make the Fiend's presumptuous victory over him at Blood Money?
I think really quick.
Go ahead.
I think the only way that this can go, seriously, or it should go, is that the Fiend Goldberg's Goldberg. Goldberg goes for the spear immediately. Fiend either catches him and Sister Abigail's him, or catches him and puts him in the claw. That's how it has to be. And then the match has to be over. It has to be that to make the Fiend look huge. But then on the flip side, what does that do to the Fiend? They're going to go, oh, so they're trying to do this with the Fiend. Okay, we don't buy it. You know, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you have Goldberg try and do a good match with the Fiend, it's going to be boring as dicks, or Goldberg's going to hurt someone. If you try and if you have Goldberg, the Fiend, then everyone's going to be fucking absolutely outrageously pissed. And it's going to kill the Fiend. It's going to ruin everything. And if you have the Fiend Goldberg, then you're going to run into the thing of going, like, it will be a shock because no one's dominated Goldberg. But then very quickly people will be like, so where does that put the Fiend in the holding the title rankings? Like, what does that mean? How powerful is he actually? Because Daniel Bryan and who else took him to task? Like, you know what I mean?
Seth. Yeah.
It's that kind of thing of like, well, what happens then? So it's a really big,
I mean, to me,
fucky thing.
It's honestly the Fiend, the Fiend Goldbergering, yeah, yeah,
delicious kosher Goldburgers.
There's nothing delicious about that at all. Anyways, the Fiend.
Tom's an anti-Semite. You heard it here.
I'm anti-Goldberg. I'm anti-Goldberg is what it is. Anyways, the Fiend Goldbergering Goldberg is honestly, if you're gonna have any sort of negative backlash from any of the scenarios, that's the lesser of all the evils, honestly. Because when it comes down to it, I think you almost run into a situation like where we had the last Blood Money show with fucking Oldberg and Dusty Bones, is that, you know, regardless of what happened in the match, look at Undertaker's legacy. It's not going to be tarnished just because of one match. The same way with Goldberg's quote unquote, and I'm using very large, very loose quotes on that, legacy, you know. And as I said, the only legacy that he has, to me, in my opinion, is his streak in WCW. Yeah, he's won championships, but that's what people mostly remember him for, is his legacy. And that's the one thing that always constantly keeps getting brought up. That's the first thing that they go to whenever they talk about Goldberg. That's the first thing the announcers even mention is, oh, he went undefeated for over this long. Fuck Who cares? Fuck him. He sucks. Anyways, that's all I got to say. Yeah.
To me, I think this is as long as the Fiend wins, and I feel like it's important to preface that because we never fucking know with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon could drink a wild fucking coffee that morning and decide that he wants Goldberg to beat the Fiend, and drop the title to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which would be absolutely obtuse, but not outside of the realm of McMahonisms.
Listen,
So,
I'm gonna interject and say this right now. If Goldberg beats the Fiend for the Universal title, I'm done watching until further notice. I'm done. I will swear it off. I will
there
not.
were two.
I will be done for probably at least until SummerSlam.
Been there, man.
Just saying.
I don't even remember what made me. Oh, it was the Fiend and Seth Rollins and Hell in a Cell. That's what made me swear it off for like a couple months. Anyway, my point is this: is that to me it's good business because even if you factor Goldberg WCW out of it and Goldberg's initial WWE run, you have the Goldberg of the last few years who has beaten Kevin Owens at the top of his game after Kevin Owens held the title for like 5-6 months. Does it easily. He beats Lesnar easily, and really requires a 110% effort out of Goldberg, out of Lesnar to beat him. So you have a guy who has absolutely rocked the upper card. Having the Fiend beat him, whether it's by a crushing defeat, whether it's by a fucking roll-up. Having the Fiend beat him, I think, is a smart fucking move if the end game is to have him be Reigns' fodder. Because you are beefing up the guy who, is going to be on the plate. I'm against it. I am 100% against Roman Reigns winning the title at WrestleMania, but at this point, it is kind of a bygone conclusion. Or foregone. I wish it was bygone. Foregone conclusion. It's going to happen. So the sooner we all become okay with it, the better, and the more bright spots we can try to find. But that being said,
I'm sorry. I just saw what Poot said in the Discord and I lost my shit.
oh boy, I haven't even.
I can't.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite GIF of all time.
I can't even look at my computer screen. Like I can't even look up right now.
Maniac. My point is that
sorry, I gotta mute myself.
You're fine. At the end of the day, I think this is smart. And honestly, like for as much shit as we give Goldberg, props to him for coming back and giving back to somebody else. Again, assuming that he loses. If he wins, I take it all back, and he's a bastard.
What's the over/under on him? What's the over/under on him willing to do that job though? Because by God, he loves them big old paychecks, and he loves the fucking spotlight. He fucking loves it.
Well, I mean, he did the job to Taker last year, so
but that's Taker, not the Fiend. There's a big
but do you understand how much the Saudis are paying him? Well, how much McMahon's paying him on behalf of the Saudis to come over there and do that?
Saudis,
like there are
Saudi.
There are so many zeros in that fucking paycheck. Like I will say this. I bet you what Goldberg makes in that one match a week from Thursday would probably be enough for any one of us, maybe even any two of us, to live on the rest of our entire fucking lives. So,
yeah, man, I could really go for a ham sandwich too. I agree.
He's probably making millions.
Oh, easily minimum 1.2.
I was thinking somewhere in the nature of 2 million, but I could be wrong. But the good news is, again, bright spots, guys, bright spots. This, by all accounts, likely removes him from the WrestleMania card.
Oh God, I hope so.
It gets a shitty wrestler. It gets a shitty wrestler off of a good card on a shitty, stupid fucking Saudi Arabia card that fucking three people are gonna watch. And hooray,
dude! And
listen.
The last time they had a show over there, boy, fucking howdy, did
Shit
they
got real quick?
Did they? Well, it got real quick, but it also was like, not a lot of people were in that fucking stadium.
I'm going to preface this and just say that anymore, we are not to refer to Goldberg as even a shitty wrestler. Let's just call him a shitty talent because the boy can't wrestle for shit.
Fair enough.
I wrestle my dick better than Goldberg can wrestle in the ring.
And I've had a lot of practice.
Yep.
There's an interesting mental image I'll struggle with the rest of my life.
Maybe like the gift that I posted in the Discord, which you still haven't looked at, dum-dum.
Oh, no, I saw it. I'm just trying to be professional and not lose my shit on the air, you fuckers.
Oh no, it's okay. Lose your shit, lose yourself because it's worth it.
It's pretty fucking great. I mean, even
it's the edge. It's the Edge split screen GIF. I'm gonna see if I can't put. I'm gonna see if I can either put a still or the actual GIF in the video now.
No.
If it didn't work, it's not there, so go fuck yourselves. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, that's the thing. These Blood Money shows get real fucky real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you never know what's going to happen at them. And if Vince thinks, hey, if we do a Universal title change a month before WrestleMania, maybe 13 more people will watch next time.
Suck my dick, here's what's going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. That's what happens every time.
That's all the impetus he needs. So, hopefully, my hope is that hopefully there are no travel issues this time. Hopefully no one feels like they're being, like, coerced into staying in a foreign country. Hopefully all that business is behind them and, the talent can get there safe, come back safe, and everybody is happy.
Well, we all know how reasonable Saudi Arabian dictators are, so...
And Vince McMahon, so,
Exactly, I said Saudi Arabian dictators.
But anyway, speaking of old guys at WrestleMania, a couple names are coming across the board that are likely WrestleMania locks by now, and I'm actually pretty excited about the two matches reported, which were Undertaker versus AJ Styles, which the groundwork's already kind of been in place on Monday night if you watched AJ's promo.
I did not.
And then, spoiler, it was
That's
decent,
okay.
And it starts laying the groundwork for him versus Taker, and then John Cena versus Elias, which is a natural progression from where they were last year, and I'm all for it. I think that it's beneficial to everybody to have John Cena back, have him come back, chill the new Fast and Furious movie, and do his thing.
So does that mean that they're now kind of pushing Elias as a heel again?
We'll see. Who knows? Because John Cena. Here's the thing with John Cena though. John Cena's character that he plays in the new Fast and Furious movie is a bad guy.
Ooh,
so,
oh my.
The other thing is, how often has the WWE Universe clamored for Cena to come back as a heel? So, honestly, it doesn't, it's one thing to be a smark and to sit here and go, oh, well, Cena should come back as a heel because we want to see it. But in the other sense, like, it's good business sense for him to come back as a face because he's trying to promote a movie. He's trying to promote his fucking career.
You think we're gonna see you think we're gonna see Thugonomics Cena? Life?
Dude, we fucking have to. After last year, if we don't see Thugonomics John Cena, I'll be sad. But honestly, I'm just happy to see John Cena back. That's weird to say, but
wow,
I know, right?
Things that I never thought I'd hear Beef say for 1,000 ransom. Oh wait. No, and I agree, dude. It's like that's the thing. It's like I really feel like John Cena is one of those things that we didn't realize what we had until it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Cue the 80s metal ballad right now.
Don't know what you got till it's gone. No, really, like it's fixing to be an interesting Mania, and I think if anybody on the roster can bring Taker to a good match, it would be AJ Styles.
Exactly, because like we've said before, you need somebody that can carry the match with Undertaker, because he honestly, just no disrespect to the Undertaker himself and the career that he's had, but he's at the point in his career and his age that he needs somebody to carry him through the match, and you can't do that with two old heads. You have to do it with somebody who can do it, and AJ is definitely a man to do that.
And AJ's no spring chicken, but he's kept himself in good shape.
Hey,
I
that
disagree.
DDP yoga works wonders.
I disagree. I think you could put Taker versus
He's
Sting.
not young.
No. I'm saying I think you could put Taker versus Sting out there. They could have
that would be awful.
The drizzling shits match, but no one would give a damn because your fucking hair on the back of your neck and your arms and your legs and your fucking pee-pee would be standing the minute that the fucking gong hits.
Whoa. This is a family-friendly show.
What the fuck it is?
My bad. Anyway, like, my point is, from the fucking entrances and then the epic stare down, like, they could have a fucking 12-minute rest hold match. Whatever. People would love it because it's Undertaker versus Sting. And yeah, it should have happened fucking at WrestleMania 31. And yeah, it should have happened at WrestleMania 21. And yeah, it should have happened at WrestleMania 25. But it didn't, and we should be happy with what we get. That being said, I agree, if you're looking for a good match, this Styles versus Taker is probably the best we're going to get. But here's the conundrum. Taker is gone. I don't care what you say. Like, he is gone. He's never going to hold another world title.
Right.
He's never going to win another Royal Rumble. He's never going to win, like, another Fatal 4-Way match. He's just not going to headline pay-per-views.
He's Dunyan rings.
He's gone. He's here.
I like that.
He's here for Survivor Series, sometimes SummerSlams, WrestleManias, and Saudi blood money shows when they want to pay him enough.
Ugh.
So, do you hurt the legacy of AJ Styles by having him lose to the Dead Man?
You're not going to... All right.
Or do you further impugn The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak legacy by having a third person beat him at WrestleMania?
I think you would... well, that's the thing, is that Styles would have to lose. He would have to. I mean, what's the point of Styles winning other than shoving him back into the main event scene, which you could just do at any given fucking moment? And have it be believable.
I'm going to look up some stats here, but AJ Styles does not have the best WrestleMania record. Let me go back here. I think he debuted at WrestleMania 32,
which he lost
against Jericho, which he lost. And then in 33, I believe he faced Kevin Owens. No, that might have been another year.
It was another Jericho one, wasn't it?
No, he beat AJ beat Shane at 33, and then 34. AJ
beat Shinsuke, and Shinsuke hit him in the pee-pee.
You're right. Yep. And then 35, Orton beat him. So, right? No, he beat Orton. How did I forget that? That's so weird. So I guess AJ Styles does have a decent record at WrestleMania. It just feels like he doesn't, which is weird. But I mean,
Giggity.
I don't know, man. Like, do you really? So you're telling me you want to trot out 60-year-old Undertaker against the guy who I think is still very much in his prime in AJ Styles, and you want to have Undertaker, who comes out for once, maybe twice a year, come out and bury one of your pun intended, I guess, and bury one of your top level talents. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, the thing is, you're not gonna besmirch AJ Styles' legacy and career and what he's done. What you would do is then bury him now. And Styles has even gone on record in saying that he's not long for this wrestling world, supposedly. But enough money would keep anybody around for an extra year or two. But he's gone on record and said, "Nah, I'm done, man. I want to be home and be with my family."
But he said he signed his last contract already.
Yeah,
granted, he's still got a number of years on this last contract, but he said that's the last one that he's signing, and so that's what he says.
And the thing is, all you're gonna do with, the OC, all three members, is bury the piss out of them, which those three guys do not fucking deserve. They don't. They deserve to be a main, a upper mid to top of the card faction that runs roughshod. And basically, you know what Balor's doing in NXT? That's what they should be doing.
Gallows and Anderson had their chance, man. They had their chance where they could have signed the new agreements or walked away. They signed new agreements. And again, who are we to say that, what they're doing is wrong? Because again, they're featured very prominently every week on Monday Night Raw. They won the Best in the World Tag Team Tournament last year, and Saudi Blood Money too.
The best in the world.
So, I mean, yeah, we could sit here and say, "Oh, they're being misused," yada yada yada, which they are compared to what we saw previously of them in Japan. But I mean, realistically, you said it yourself. There's a lot of fucking cooks. There's a lot of fucking cooks on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. You gotta take what you can get. So, but I mean, if they weren't happy, they could have walked away, and maybe they should have. We'll never know. But I just, I don't know, man. I think this is a debate that we might be having all Mania season, because when you had Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker, to me, that did more harm to his legacy than anything before it. Because Roman Reigns has done nothing since. Nothing against the big dog, but I mean, because WWE, and as has been well documented, to quote good old JR, WWE has gotten cold feet on Roman Reigns plenty of times. So if they would have capitalized on that Roman heat right away and had him roll with it and be a fucking tough guy for the next 3 years, okay. But you had Roman beat him and then become fucking nothing. And yes, I understand that, cancer was a big part of that. I get it. All right. But, I mean, that to me hurt his legacy more than anything.
Well, either way, speaking of too many cooks or a lot of cooks in the kitchen, I think we need to cook up some Stump the Chumps, because we've been a little far behind on that. So, what do you say?
We may not have any. Let me take a look here.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
While Beefarooni's taking a look, do we want to thank the sponsors again, real quick?
Sure. I want to thank our very own champion and our also very, 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 very wonderful sponsor, Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom, and his channel Casual Gaming Dad on Facebook, and Casual Gaming Dad 84 on our Casual Gaming Dad now, right? Just Casual Gaming Dad?
No. Casual Gaming Dad 84 on Twitch. And then YouTube is
.com/Casual Gaming Dad.
Casual Gaming Dad 84.
Still 84?
YouTube.com/Casual Gaming Dad 84
Okay.
on there.
Well, you can go on there. Thanks to Tom for spreading the good word of the P3 podcast and having us be part of his streams on a regular basis. We really appreciate it. And his streams are really, really fun and entertaining. So go check them out. If you're a video game fan, Tom really does some neat stuff. And his Super Metroid runs are killer. Watch those. Those
dude, I finally
great.
fit it.
Huh?
I finally did it the other day, yesterday, whenever I was trying to, for my little personal speed run thing.
Yeah.
So 100% items, all the bosses, didn't skip any mini bosses or anything like that. glitchless, under 2 hours clear time.
Look at this guy.
Did it?
That's
Look at
awesome.
the big. Look at
1 hour 58 minutes and 48 seconds.
Look at big.
Nice.
Look at Big Dick swinging over here. That's great. Great job, Tom. Tom, you want to thank our other sponsor?
You know what? I'd be glad to. We want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler with all the work that he does, bringing IWC to the good people of Clearfield, doing the Lord's work up in the country up there.
Up in God's country.
Up in God's country.
God doesn't live there anymore.
Yes, I do.
Anyways.
Go on, Tom.
I was waiting for it.
Okay.
Wow. Anyways, but no, we want to thank Sean Tischler. And you can go check out his Facebook group page, IWC Clearfield, where you can find info and everything like that about events coming to the Clearfield area with IWC. You might even just see some regular IWC stuff in there in general. So if you're closer to the Pittsburgh area, within earshot of our broadcasting range here, and you happen to be down around the Elizabeth area, IWC is going to be putting on their Ignition show this Saturday. So go check that out. And they got plenty more good stuff coming down the way, I'm sure. Lots of really great talents there, and just people that you're going to want to go see and really follow their careers as they move up through the companies and stuff like that, and gain more experience in the wrestling world. It's a fun time to go to the shows. I took my kids and we had a blast. So.
Well, there you
I
go.
would be shocked if we do not see Jackson Argos with a major company within the next 3 years.
Okay. Here we go. Instead of hot tag trivia or stump the chumps, do we have a stump the chumps?
We do have actually, and it's we'll do it. Okay, so
Let's do that really quick, and then I have an idea, and then we'll call it a night because we're getting long in the tooth.
Yes, we are. We're getting a little snaggly.
trademark. In the 1998, this obviously comes from our friend the Midcard Maniac. In the 1998 edition of Unforgiven, introduced two new gimmick matches. What were they, and who were the participants? 98 Unforgiven.
Woo, two new gimmick matches. Wow.
One of them, I think, for sure was Buried Alive.
That's what I was going to say.
Mistaken, I think it was Taker versus Stone Cold. It may have been Taker versus Kane. I don't recall, but I think that was the one where Taker buried or Stone Cold buried Taker with the big old dump truck.
Was the other one? Why am I thinking Unforgiven 98? 98. Wasn't that the? I'm being a dumbass. No, that was Bad Blood. I was gonna say the debut of Kane.
It's gotta be Kane.
No,
that was
real quick aside on the question here. We were just down at Yokoso in the waterfront for a hibachi place, and whenever they make the fire come, whenever they we were down there for for some hibachi or whatever, and a table across the way, whenever they're cooking on it, they make the fire come up. My buddy Eli is a wrestling fan, and I go, "It's gotta be Kane!" He starts cracking the fuck up. He's like, "I love this." He's like, "We got to do this more often."
Kane. Wow.
But I was gonna say Buried Alive match was the one I was gonna go with. I don't know.
I really think wasn't it? No, that was Inferno match. That was Inferno match because Unforgiven had to have been after Kane debuted.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
It definitely was.
I think it was Inferno match.
Well,
I think it was Undertaker Kane Inferno. The other one though, I don't know.
Oh my goodness. So you might be right. Because the first ever Buried Alive match was the one that led to Undertaker coming back as the American Badass, if I'm correct. And it may have been a different Buried Alive match. I'm not sure. No, it had. Never mind. It had to have been a different one because the American Badass was. Or no, I'm sorry. He left as the American Badass and became the Dead Man again because that was his entrance back into WrestleMania 20. But that would have been a few years after. I'm sticking strong in the Buried Alive match, but I have no idea. It's probably something gimmicky like
Oh my God!
like
A
a
sack
fucking
match?
tag gauntlet, like
What
a
if-
fucking
what
tag
if-
gauntlet or something.
What if it was the Kennel from Hell?
No, that wasn't 98. That was later.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was later.
Mm,
That was late.
I don't know, man.
What if it was? Did they have evening gown matches before that?
Oh, yeah, oh my, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. It may have been the Kennel from Hell match, but I can't believe that they would do two major gimmicks like that. So I was thinking like a major gimmick, and then like something goofy, like a fatal 5-way match, or a 6-pack challenge, or like a tag team gauntlet match or something.
Reread the question again, real quick, just so we're clear, like on the the despondence of if this match is like if this type of match is still going or not, or anything like that. You know what I mean?
The 1998 edition of Unforgiven introduced 2 new gimmick matches. What were they, and who were their participants?
Okay.
The participants. I'm standing by Inferno match, and that was Undertaker Kane. The other one, I don't know.
So 98 seems a little bit late for that, Poot, because 98 would have been WrestleMania 15.
Well, here's the thing: they wouldn't have the Buried Alive and Inferno matches on the same card. So it's got to be one major one, either a Buried Alive or Inferno, and then like some schlocky bullshit.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm with you on that. I swear I remember there being the Buried Alive matches starting at Unforgiven.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say it was Taker and Stone Cold.
I can see the tombstone in my head. Like I can see the vignette. It was like a purple outline tombstone. One had a picture of Austin, one had a picture of the Undertaker, and it had the Unforgiven logo on it. So I'm like, Poot, I hate to outvote you here, but I am like reasonably sure. You said it yourself on the Wrestling Encyclopedia. I'm reasonably sure that it is Taker versus Stone Cold and Buried Alive. And then I'm going to say it was a fatal 4-way tag team match for the tag team titles. Oh, fuck. I don't even know who the champions would have been at that point. I couldn't.
I'm standing by the Inferno match, but you know what? We're gonna have to go with the consensus on this. I'll go with both your picks then. I
have no idea what the other one could be. Tom, do you have any idea what the other gimmick could be?
I'm gonna go with Kennel from Hell, just to throw it out there.
Okay. Well, let's find out.
And we know who that was. That was Al Snow
and
Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man.
And a lot of confused peeing dogs.
Midcard says, love the podcast. I would still like to be a guest someday, but only if Ransom will let me. Midcard would love to have you someday. We're still trying to work out how we're trying to handle this whole 3 to 4 man booth rotation. So once we iron some shit out, like I said, we got some stuff coming down the pike. So hopefully we get some people on and
hey, listen, just to throw this out there, if he wants to come on one week. I don't mind sitting out. That'll give me an extra night to stream and further promote the podcast anyway. So either way, we're good.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we always have, I
am a kind and understanding and benevolent champion. It's okay.
And this, by the way, this question was sent to us today. So thanks, Vidcard. Poot, I'm gonna choose some serious fucking crow here. Because it was the Inferno match, Undertaker versus Kane.
Son of a bitch.
Suck my dick, you fuck man.
And you're gonna be even more upset because the other one was the evening gown match with Luna versus Sable.
What?
Wow.
Poot was fucking right on both accounts. Now, I could have swore they had an evening, although. To be fair, now.
Oh God, that was full on Ransom.
Yep.
tuxedo matches before this. I can't say that 100%.
Now,
so it's the same gimmick, just with women. So
But
technically, it's a new match. But
did they have bra and panty matches
No.
before this?
No.
because this was Luna Sable, because this was like the start of the whole, like, that whole thing. So so good job too. Way to fucking be smarter than me.
Hey man,
proud of you.
dude, even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
All right, but what do you got there on tap, brother?
Well, okay, really quick, because like I said, we really are getting long in the tooth here. You mentioned Argos. You said in the next couple years we're going to see him in a bigger place. I fully agree with you, and I think we should all just throw out really quick where we think he's going and why we think he's going there. I'm going to go. I think that we're going to see Argos in, and I understand this isn't as big, but I'm going to put a slash. I'm going to say we're going to see Argos in Dragon Gate or NJPW, because I feel like Argos, with his personality, his look, his charisma, and his in-ring skill, would do a lot better with, and also his age. I'm pretty sure he's younger.
Oh, he's definitely younger.
If he takes the route that was traveled by people like Pac, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, if he takes that route, I feel like his ceiling in the end will be much, much, much higher, versus if he goes straight to NXT or straight to AEW or straight to
Ring of
Raw or Raw.
Yeah.
Like, and nothing against Raw. Raw's kind of borderline there, but I really feel like that if he takes the road that was traveled by, future, like, legends of the business, I feel like it would do him a lot better.
Even fucking Hulk Hogan went to Japan. So, yeah.
Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar did too. But I mean, Tenta, Jericho, like Vader, all these guys, they built their careers slowly, and I feel like he would learn a lot and he would glean a lot from that style and the worldly experience. And I feel like he would his ceiling would be exponential if he did that.
I personally could see Argos going to Ring of Honor. That's the one place I could see him ending up first. I don't know that I could see him in Impact, but then again, I don't watch Impact, so I don't really know. I really don't know who they kind of put their feelers out on or anything like that. I don't know. I just think my first thought immediately, just my gut instinct tells me Ring of Honor for Argos. And regardless of where he goes, I think he can do. I think he has the potential to do really, really good work. But that's just
And if I think Ring of Honor needs to get out of its own way, because it's its own detractor. But if this, Argos being there could be, completely usher in a new era, which I think would be super cool. But I believe that he's probably going to show up on AEW. The AEW feels like a natural pipeline from IWC. Obviously with Wardlow and Dr. Britt Baker. But moreover, if you, I remember being at AEW in Pittsburgh and seeing Plummer running around there with like a chicken with his head cut off. No doubt, like wheeling and dealing, schmoozing, talking to the big wigs there, the EVPs of AEW. So, and I have no doubt that they're aware that this kind of like little tri-state area here between us and like West Virginia and Maryland is kind of like a pretty big cradle of wrestling anymore. So No,
Sorry.
that's
Another Discord
GIF.
GIF.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go
it's
on.
okay.
damn it, Poots.
I don't know. I randomly look up and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeet. The all right. No, Beef, you're absolutely
But,
correct. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, so I think he could dedefinitely end up on AEW because of those because it basically serves as a pipeline, and I think that they need a mid card title first. They keep talking about adding like a trios title, which would be cool and which would be very AEW to kind of go against the grain and be like, hey, we're counterculture. Here's a 6-man tag team belt, but man, give me a solid mid card title first, and then we'll talk.
Yep.
Absolutely agree. So no matter what we're all saying, we're saying that Argos is in fact the future.
For sure.
I think that is a sound statement to say.
Absolutely. And real quick, I don't know why his name popped in my head, but possibly we can talk about him a little bit more on the next podcast. And what he's done like since Evolve. But Austin Theory in NXT, I have really high hopes for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. But I think that could be a topic for another one. We
Absolutely.
we thanked the sponsors pretty extensively shortly ago. We'll just mention them again. Thank you, Casual Gaming Dad, for all your support, and thank you to Sean Tischler and your work with IWC. And we really appreciate it. Looking forward to the next show on Poopmas Eve. Also, fun fact, I looked up while we were faffing around talking about Argos, I looked up the Unforgiven. That was on Poopmas Day. 1998.
How about that?
So there you go. Fun little tie-in there. Fellas, this was a really good one. I had a lot of fun. We missed you a lot, Ransom. Really, we did. And looking forward to whenever you meander your way back onto the podcast from doing God's worth. For Beef the Legend.
Oh, I'm allowed to say something
Yeah.
here?
Oh, wow.
Normally-
Wait. You're right. You didn't get enough time talking this podcast there, dickface. You're right.
Well, normally, normally at the end it's like, for blah 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 blah. I'm blah blah blah, baby.
And you know
saying
what?
good night.
You know what? I'm going back to that. For Beef the Legend, the Steel City Savior, your Cruiserweight champion for now, Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom, and me, Poot the Bard. Baby, have a wonderful evening. Is that better? Cockbite?